How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is the What's Up Eddie channel, Divine Therapy Sessions, and of course, I'm the one and only Eddie. So glad to have you guys back, and these are my Divine Therapy Sessions. You guys, today's God-conscious topic today, I'm going to talk about three subjects actually, and this is just kind of like it's the inner workings of how my mind works in regards to life in hell and heaven itself, right? And I believe that all of us here on planet Earth, we haven't died yet, right? So how could we know what is on the other side? We can only go off of what we feel in our hearts, what we know within our meditative practices, and we know with the history, right? We know with different cultures and different cultures within different time periods throughout history, right? Okay. And so not everybody resonates with the same cultures. Why do you think that is? And a good way to I think to enhance this subject, or for you to think about it a little more clearly, is when you watch a movie, not everybody likes the same movie, right? And say that like you may not have lived it here on planet Earth on this life, but like you resonate with like a Roman culture or a Greek culture or African culture, and you know somehow that like you've seen it, you've been there, and you have this affinity towards these cultures that aren't your own. Why is that? Well, I believe that the reason why is that we live multiple lives within this platform. And this platform is a testing ground. And within this testing ground, you are trying to remember. You're also being tested. That's why I think, and this is what gets me into the subjects that I'm talking about. So, one, I want to talk about a vision that I had a while ago. I don't like talking about my visions because they're kind of scary sometimes. So like this will be the first time I actually do talk about it. I also want to talk about hell, and then I want to talk about earth and how that all goes together. And so I think so. I would say that some of the lessons that I've learned are obviously my experiences on planet Earth through this lifetime, but it's also the readings that I've had, right? But I take the readings that I read nowadays. I take the information, and what resonates and what doesn't. I think we all do that, right? And I think that we do that because we're on certain levels within our spiritual progress. Not everyone on planet Earth is on the same level. You meet people on the same level, but I don't think that we all are like. I believe that there's new souls coming to planet Earth, and I believe that there are old souls here. It's like when I feel like an old soul. Just for a little background, I haven't did a past life reading. This is just coming intuitively and what I resonate with. I resonate with the Egyptian culture, first and foremost. I believe that I was a pharaoh within one of the dynasties within the Egyptian culture. I think that I was within the 5th dynasty. I don't know if that's right, but at some point I know that I will remember this stuff, or the readings will come to me. And I'm already talking about it on a video, so it's more than likely that it'll come to me. So I resonate with the Egyptian culture. Now, my knowledge is quite limited, but whenever I've dreamed it, I dream about it. I dream about that time period, and that which tells me that like it's got to be, and I feel there's this strength within me, and this it's like a king's courage, a king's conviction. And I know that it was during a time period within the pharaohs, and I think it's the 5th dynasty, to be honest. That's why I also believe too is like You think about the readings that you start to read when you have a spiritual awakening. One of the readings was it was a channeling done, and the channeling was a channeling from Ra. Ra was in that time period, right? Ra is just a different name to me. Is a different name for God, because every culture has a different name, right? And I've had other videos talking about God within my God conscious topics or God conscious videos. So I would say this: when I read that reading, it was like I had written it. So I know that I resonate with that time period, and so you guys might be having the same thing. So what I'm talking about right now is past lives. So you guys may be dealing with, I wouldn't say identity issues. I guess you would say it in some part. I've actually had identity issues within planet Earth. You know, it's like there's a whole bunch of different dynamics I'm not going to get into, but so you might be resonating with other cultures. That's normal. When you're in the awakening process, that's going to happen. Okay, so I bring that stuff up to say too is like I resonate with the Greek culture, and so you think about those two cultures already. Those are like very old cultures from today. So if I've lived from that long period of time, that means I'm an old soul. I've been doing this for quite some time. It's not to say that I'm better than you or less than you if you're a new soul or whatever the case is. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is about me helping you to open your eyes up to what's going on here. And that's why I love the subject of the God conscious topic, because it teaches you guys something. It makes you think more than what you were thinking before, because we all kind of have a similar experience, right? We either go to church, we get those readings, and then we get programmed by the church people, and then we get condemned and judged, and then we become the condemners and the judgers, right? And that process isn't working for us anymore. It doesn't work for me, that's for sure. And I'm in the ascension process, and I know that it's not working for you. So you need to get out of that process of thinking. It's a program. Okay, so I believe. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about my vision, and I think this is crazy because the vision was before I actually read, or like started doing my Googling in regards to hell. So this is my belief system within the planet Earth, heaven and hell. Okay, and this is and I'll tell you how I put it together. So my vision came in. It was me actually being messed with. When I was in the other state, I don't know what state you want to call that. Many people have different names for it, whether that be psychosis, what is the other word? Trance, or whatever the case is. All I know is that when I was in this realm, it was different from being here physically on Earth. And I believe that when people have visions, or even to like prophecy, I think that you go to a different dimension. You have to, right? We all believe in different dimensions, so this isn't far-fetched. Okay, so my vision essentially is that planet Earth, that planet Earth is already it's a foretelling of what hell is already going to be. Obviously, hell is like the place where you don't want to go, right? That's an obvious. But I think that Dante was telling the truth when he wrote the Divine Comedy. And the reason why I say that is because of this, you guys. Okay, so I've had many visions, two of them of which scared the crap out of me. But there's one vision that I could never tell anybody because it's too much for people on planet Earth. It would scare you, and I was told not to talk about it. But so I didn't know. So the type of understanding that I had before of the Bible, it had nothing to do with angels. I only knew about the teachings of Jesus Christ and then the teachings of the other apostles, right? Or disciples, or whatever you want to call them. So for me, I didn't know anything about angels or anything like that. So when I had a vision and I met 7 angels, I mean, they didn't tell me their names, but like, it's like I knew them already. So that told me 2 things. It told me that though I'm here on planet Earth, I know that my soul or some part of me is somewhere else. I also believe that how in the heck did I get 7 angels, right? Whether that's old programming or maybe I heard it in passing, it doesn't matter. The fact is that I actually saw them. So, and I believe that an angel can come to you in any form. I believe that an angel can come to you on planet Earth in whatever form that they are. Human, right? They're celestial. They can do whatever the heck they want. And think about those words, you guys. Celestial, angel. Those are just different names for, like in the Egyptian days, they had different names for it too. The Jewish people, they have different names for it as well. African culture, they have different names for different gods as well, right? So do the Chinese, the Japanese, right? So they're just words at the end of the day of our rudimentary way of trying to talk about these higher beings. Now, so another thing that from those visions is I found that how the heck did I know that there were 7 major angels, right? Archangels. And so now I get into the portion of hell. They didn't show me hell, but they said that Earth is already showing it is a foretelling of what hell is already going to be for you. You're already in it. You are being tested. There's this story of the harvest that I like to talk about. Hopefully I haven't lost you. Believe me that this has some meaning to it. Stay to the end. You're going to learn something. So, and the reason why I say this stuff is because I want you to expand the way that you think about the way Earth is. I'm not trying to sit here to scare you, but this is what I've gathered. This is my truth. So, I saw the different versions of, and mind you, I was being messed with within the vision. You're already in the 9 layers of hell, and you think about what the 9 layers of hell are. So, before I ever read anything of Dante's Inferno, they showed me different acts of what he was actually talking about. I never read the book. How did I know about this? Right? And there's different, I forget the wording of all of it, but like it's anger, treachery, it's just different things that we do on planet Earth already that we're going to pay for, or that we're going to be in some category within hell, right? Now, what I tell you is this. I think this coincides with the story of the harvest. Now, you notice that within a lot of these holy texts, that there's a lot of things that go throughout all of the texts. Like there's always the Trinity. There's always like an upper and lower echelon. There's always the dark, the light, the good, the evil, blah blah blah, yada yada yada, right? And every culture has a different way to say it. That's what I love about this stuff, is because something's telling us that something's similar. I believe that we're all talking about the same thing in a different way. It's like kind of like when you have that conversation with your friend and you're literally saying the same thing, but you guys are piggybacking off each other. I love that too, because you guys are synchronizing, you're connecting, because we're all interconnected, interwoven. Now, this part is cool. So, it doesn't scare me. I think about the way that I lived my life before, right? And so, like, I always looked at, like, the way God works and the way that this platform works is that, like, you do good, and this is how I learned it from, my previous religious teachings are going to the church, is that, like, you live a life as the righteous man, you go to heaven. If you live a life of a I guess an evil person, if that's what you want to say, you go into hell. Now, I think that's too simple, way too simple. And so I think about it like this. If there's all these different dynamics, I feel like this is my truth, and bear with me on this one. Okay, so I think that I believe that there's multiple lives. And so these multiple lives that we've had are on every life that you have is an accumulation. I feel like it's like a growth plate. We are already a god or a goddess, right? Within whatever culture you are in. I believe that there's different sects when we get into the heaven realm. I do believe that like there are the people that are. I think there's different sections of it. Like right, so you have like the old gods, the new gods, and then you have the one creator, right? I resonate with the Egyptian teachings. I also resonate with the Hebrew or the Jewish teachings. And I guess I would say Christian teachings as well. And I absolutely love and adore the Eastern way of thought. So I feel like I like all of it, and I take what I like out of each and every one of it, and that is my truth. And that's probably what you're going through too right now. You're trying to figure out where you stand in all of it, right? So what was I gonna say? So I feel like this, you guys. I feel like the 12. Why are there 12 zodiacs? I feel like each and every one of those zodiacs can take you up to multiple lifetimes to conquer one zodiac. I believe that. So I'm a Capricorn, right? Excuse me. There's a low vibration and a high vibration of a Capricorn. And so you think about like the things that are low vibrational is that I could be condescending. I could be like kind of like the king's reign, like do as I say, don't do as I do, or you're going to do what I say. Also very money hungry, manipulative, cunning. So that's like the lower end of it, right? And then what is the high vibration of Capricorn, and what is the process of conquering it? I believe is when you get into the heightened states of spirituality, you're supposed to master in this lifetime all the tests that Capricorns have, right? Now, whatever you are, whether that's a Leo, Sagittarius, I don't know, whatever you are, Libra, Pisces, Aquarius, whatever you are, you're mastering that in this lifetime. But I believe that whatever you are right now, it may take you lifetimes to figure out how to master this one process or these teachings within this process, right? Like, what is the I also say it's like, is it a coincidence that there's 12 disciples? Is there a coincidence these numbers exist like that, right? There's 12. I just believe that there's something more to it, right? Why is there 9 layers to hell? Right? There's got to be reasons. Why is it that there is a holy number is 108? Right? Like when you think about like the Molebeads, or when they do chants, right? Like these all have meanings. 33, 12. So are any of the master numbers? I believe that all of it is interconnected, interwoven together, and I believe that when you take all the teachings and all of the histories, that it's painting you a broad picture of what the afterlife is. I think that this is a test. I believe that you're here to master yourself, to remember. I also believe that we're supposed to grow away. We're supposed to grow in a place that's, because I think that we either are visiting here or we've been kicked out of heaven. So you think about it like this. I think about it like the book of Enoch. So like when you think about the Bible, not all the books are in there. But if you read the book of Enoch, it tells you that these watchers are they're still here, and that some of the fallen angels are on planet Earth, and that's why it's disastrous here, right? Also, what it tells us is that that's essentially how like wisdom and knowledge came here that wasn't supposed to be here. It was the wisdom and knowledge of the gods, or God, which is like everything that I talk about: Hermeticism, magic in its entirety, and that's what they essentially taught taught man and woman. And then you think about like the giants and all that stuff, and all this stuff is being unearthed now, so that you can't hide it. These things can't be hidden anymore. You think about the different cultures and the different it's just insane how connected it is, right? And two, at the end of the day, we don't know. We think about like the word God, and we think about how many ways it's been explained. I believe that it could be different alien cultures, and that we were made from them. But we can very much well be in a bubble right now, and you don't know that. We could be contained within this place, and that would essentially be a prison, would it not? So to me, I feel like this could be heaven or hell, depending on how you're acting, or how you are, the way that you're living your life. So I think this, you guys. I think that like so for me, like in my life, everything makes sense now. When I look back at it, it's like I know that there's some people who treated me very badly, you guys, and most of us that are chosen, the chosen ones, we have lived in a dark lifestyle, because the people that were with, there's always people inserted within our lives to fuck up us. That's what they're meant to do. But they're also meant to teach us. And the more that they push, the more that they bring out the light in us. And that's what they don't understand. So keep coming. I mean, it is what it is. You guys are going to do what you do. But like, this is what I say to you guys too, you guys, is that if this platform is already projecting what you're going to go, where we're going anyways, why not have the spiritual experience and experience a better life than you were experiencing before? And that's all this is that I teach. And you also ask yourself this, and I know people ask it, they have to be: is Eddie evil? Why does he talk about the devil? Why does he talk about Lucifer? Why does he talk about Satan? Why does he talk about that and God? Does the Bible not? Why does he talk about magic or divination? Why does he talk about astrology? Why does he talk about these different subjects? And where did this knowledge come from? I keep trying to tell you in so many different ways that it's God. This knowledge has been bestowed upon me because I am chosen. And the people, you have to ask yourself this, you guys out there. And two, this is for the people who are on my channel that are chosen. You know that you are. You can feel it in your heart. You've known it since you were a kid. It's the people around you that have been trying to convince you that you're not. And that is the often, it's part of the process. You need to go through it. But now if you're anywhere near my age, or you could even be younger, or whatever your case is, you're going through a grand test. This is a beautiful process, and there is light at the end of the tunnel when you get past a certain point. And I feel like I'm getting to that place of where the light has to be shined on everything, and that has everything to do with the fact that I'm in the ascension process. I am changing because I'm in higher states of vibration. So if you're in a higher state of vibration, you're going to bring out all the darkness that was around you. That's why I've noticed that the people that were in my life that tried to abandon me, abuse me, screw me over, steal from me, lie to me, cheat, and they do this in various ways. And you know the funny thing is that I just got a recent vision of them saying to other people that he's using magic to be in this place. What? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. And you know what's funny is that these people are the ones that use that type of they use that stuff. And I believe that their secrets are being revealed now because of what I say and what I'm teaching. Why would I waste my time to teach other people about this stuff? Why would I teach someone when I could just use this power to excel and be at the highest ranks? I'll tell you why, you guys, because I'm already ranked high. I'm already chosen. That means I'm already with God. If I'm with God, that means that I don't need to abide by a lot of the things that I've been programmed with. Neither do you. If you are more, all you need to do is remember. And to remember that is a process. It's a difficult one, and it can take over a decade, 2 decades. And I know for me, you guys, it has been hell on earth. And that's why I talk about this stuff. I talk about it because it exists just as much as heaven. I know for me, like back in the day when I was Eddie the Christian, I thought, you know what, if I don't think about it, if I don't think about the devil, or if I don't think about the evil things on planet Earth, it's not going to affect me. That is the lie that's told. It affected me a lot, gravely. It almost took my life. And I believe that there's people that would want me to be dead now because of the things that I talk about. And I believe that when I get to a place of where I do ascend, I believe that I will bring great change. I'm already bringing great change, and I've just activated some things. And it doesn't matter what these people say, you guys. I only bring it up because it's funny, because I know that they watch my channel, and it's you. How can you convince people that you're chosen? You can't. But it's, you know, when you're around someone. And also it's like, look at what they do, right? Like, I believe that, yeah, people act like they're in a place where they you know, they go to the PTA meeting, they're at the funerals, they're crying their butt off, and then they end up finding out that they're doing these underhanded things, right? But I believe that, like, you know a person, man. When you're around someone, you get this discernment, and I believe too, you know this within this spiritual process as well. And at the end of the day, I don't have to convince anybody of anything. I'm doing the work that God has told me to do, and that's essentially all you have to do, you guys. But if I had to make a conclusion to this video, I would just say this. I do believe that we are already projected to go to the inferno, to hell. I believe that. But this is the chance, this is the gift that we've been given to master and conquer this platform, to ascend, to go back to the one Creator. You got to think about it like this, and I'll end it with this. If you were God, and that's why I always have to think about it like that. And if you were God at the end of the day, and you were betrayed by the person that you called the morning star, who was beautiful, you made perfect, and that's what the devil was made, right? He was made perfectly. If he convinced a legion of angels to go against God and ensue this battle, what does that say? Where would that put you in a place where everyone was in heaven? I'm going to hit you with some knowledge right now, which I just kind of got this channeling. What if the ones here on earth right now were the ones that went against God? It quite possibly might be the truth. I think that this is our opportunity to be the best versions of ourselves, and that only happens within a spiritual process, a spiritual awakening. No matter what you're doing. I'm not telling you because you're in the church or you're a Christian that you're a bad person. I'm just telling you that think about it a little bit more. What were the first questions you asked when you were in that religion? Because I know I asked these questions and they never got answered. Why am I thinking about this stuff? Why am I called to help other people? What is this burning desire to teach others, to open their mind and stop thinking and doing as others do, but do what God has told you to do? I think we ignore the inner God within us. And I think that's part of the process of being here, because of all the programming. We're easily susceptible to listening to others and following the crowd. It's hard to go against the grain. That is mastering the process. It's part of it. I think that's all I got, you guys. I don't teach this stuff to scare you or any of that, but there's just so much more going on that meets the eye. You can't trust your eyes. You have to trust your intuition. You have to trust what's in your soul, what God has burned within you. You already know. It's just you need to remember who that person is. I believe that we're already with God, but we're being tested right now. You came here to prove yourself. And I'll tell you guys, for a long time I was proving the opposite. And so we all have a choice. And so when I chose to change my ways, start living my life with substance, with clarity, with love, with compassion for myself and love for myself, and then in turn giving that to others, that's when my life changed. That's when God truly started to become in my heart. And then I realized that that my visions were just a tuning fork to what is already around us. That's why when people ask, how did Eddie get to this point? It took me to dive into hell to figure out that I was of the light, because hell doesn't want me. Right? They don't. They want to take you there, but it's not a possibility. If you're already destined to do something, then follow the destiny. And most of the people here on my platform, you're in a destiny, whether you know it or not. Follow your dreams. Follow your heart. Follow the stars. If you follow the stars, I promise you, baby girl, baby boy, you already know where you're going. That's all I got. I love you guys. Catch you guys in the next one. Give me a thumbs up. Holla at your boy.